Obama vowed that there are plenty of checks and balances on NSA surveillance to keep the agency in line. But an internal audit shows thousands of interceptions each year that are illegal even by the agency's admission. So how did it become so powerful? RT's Lucy Kavanagh investigates.
Inside America's National Security Agency.
Privacy rules are overstepped its legal authority.
The NSA is a big, scary surveillance monster that knows everything we do.
Propelled to mainstream news headlines by controversy, the NSA is still largely shrouded in mystery. Now, headquartered in the Fort Meade Army Base in Maryland, it trumps even the CIA as America's most secretive intelligence agency. Now, the NSA doesn't have spies out in the field. Instead, there are more than 35,000 employees who pore over emails, computer searches, phone calls, and personal data. And while its bylaws state the NSA is only to conduct foreign intelligence, the agency has taken a massive turn towards spying at home. But the NSA wasn't always so intent on spying on Americans. It began under a different name in the 1930s as a secret cryptologic service that broke foreign enemy codes in wartime. The attack on Pearl Harbor pushed America to take intelligence more seriously. In World War II, the agency's missions, including deciphering communications from both Nazi Germany and the Japanese Navy, and to encrypt American messages. But then came the Cold War.
The free peoples of the world look to us for support in maintaining their freedom.
And with the Cold War, the formal birth of the NSA in 1952. President Truman authorized the creation of the agency to coordinate communications intelligence. The spy center was so secret at the time, the joke was the initials stood for no such agency. Decades before the agency was collecting massive amounts of phone and internet records, it was collecting telegraph records in an operation that raised similar legal issues and worries about the lack of oversight. In fact, its existence wasn't even publicly acknowledged by the government until the 1970s. The Watergate scandal brought America's domestic spying to light.
What counterintelligence objective was it thought you were achieving in opening the mail of what most of us would assume to be very patriotic, thoughtful, decent Americans?
In 1975, then-Senator Frank Church had warned that the NSA's spying powers could come to haunt American citizens.
Capability at any time could be turned around on the American people. And no American would have any privacy left, such as the capability to monitor everything, telephone conversations, telegrams, it doesn't matter. There would be no place to hide.
In 1978, the government passed FISA. The Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act forced the NSA to get warrants from special courts before it could spy within the U.S. But with the fall of the Soviet Union, the NSA's mission seemed less urgent. But 9/11 would change everything. Terrorism became target number one. The NSA would get a big budget and a new mission. President Bush would go on to sign an order launching the NSA's domestic spying program, and telecom companies were secretly approached by the government and asked to participate. In 2006, it was revealed that the NSA had been secretly collecting the phone call records of tens of millions of Americans using data provided by AT&T, Verizon, and Bell South. The NSA had been tapping into people's lives. Well, since then, scandal after scandal would keep the NSA in the spotlight. What began as a small organization responsible for making and breaking codes would evolve into a super-secret, multi-billion-dollar agency with the capacity to pry into every aspect of Americans' lives. And as Edward Snowden's leaks would eventually show, that is precisely what it did. Lucy Kavanagh, RT, Moscow.